let's do yoga. We're gonna start in child's pose. So you're gonna bring your toes to touch behind you. Your knees can either be out wide to the width of your mat or tucked underneath of your chest if you like support underneath your chest. You're gonna walk the hands out in front of you. Oh, and if I didn't say it, my name is Heather. Bringing your forehead down to the mat. And just dialing right into the breath. So one of our favorite poses that I asked before class, someone said child's pose. So here you are. And I really love child's pose too because it gets to target a lot of areas of the body. And we can start in the hands and the fingertips. As you push through the fingers and all the knuckles, you're starting to get the connection through the palms to the floor. And you get to use that press down through the hands to activate the arms. So the shoulders don't really get a chance to squeeze up towards the ears. If we're really pressing down, then the arms are going to get to turn on and maybe even the elbows get to lift. As we keep pressing through the hands, notice how the hips get to go down towards the heels. And it's going down towards the heels because the spine is getting longer. So all the things, literally. Just breathing into all those different sensations, taking a really big inhale and a really big exhale. We're going to do one more of those. So fill up those lungs as big as you can. Then push all that air out. And we're going to take a peek at the fingers, picking up the torso and walking the hands over to the right side of the mat. Settling the forehead back down between the upper arms. I'm getting to lean into that left side. So right underneath the left arm. Still getting that same press through the palms. Rounding down through the hips. And starting to feel the breath weave its way in between each rib. Take 2 more big breaths in. And out. With one more really big, bring it in. And exhale, clearing it empty. We're going to look to the fingers again, pick up the torso and walk the hands over towards the left. Settling the forehead right back down. And getting to lean into this new side, the new space. Firmly pressing through both hips. Weaving the breath in between each rib. And we'll do 2 more breaths. Bring it all in. And send it all out. For one more inhale. And that exhale. Looking forward towards the fingers, coming right back into the center child's pose. Settling your forehead back down. Maybe feeling the difference. Wiggling the hips a little bit side to side. Letting your eyes close and taking the moment just for yourself. Finding and setting an intention for your practice tonight. Knowing that it can be anything you want it to be. It can be you want to do something to feel or think or say. And when you have that intention, you're going to use your inhale to seal and ingrain it into every cell, every fiber of your body. And your exhale to send it out to the universe so you can make it happen starting right now. Out of our child's pose, just going to bring the fingertips of the hands and the palms in towards one another. I'm starting to turn the fingers so they point up towards the ceiling, bending at the elbows, nice and slow. Maybe the thumbs get to reach all the way towards the back of the neck or the top of the shoulder. Breathing into that space underneath the shoulder as well as the tricep. And very carefully, we'll start to unbend the elbows, bringing the palms right back down to the mat for our child's pose. Blah, blah, blah. Looking forward towards the hands. Your next inhale is going to pull you up into a tabletop, bringing your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. I'm not going to pay too much attention to anatomy right now. I just really want you to feel your body. So going for some cat cows. Every inhale, you get to drop the belly and lift the gaze. And every exhale, you round and crawl just like a cat, taking your gaze towards the belly, going with your own breath. Every inhale is that cow pose. And every exhale is that cat pose. And if you need an extra wiggle between whichever one you're going to, cat or cow, you can add that in. As long as you're moving with your breath. Connecting movement with breath. And knowing that the ability to do that is going to be super handy in the next hour. A couple more big rounds. Letting your eyes close. So that we can find a big dancing lion. Just make big moves around the mat, drawing some circles with the entire body. Getting into all the different joints. You can feel more wrist or knee, your hip, your shoulders. And you can even add some neck into it. Moving the head. Switching it up whenever you realize, like, oh, if I go into this a little bit more, that feels really good. And all the snaps, crackles, and pops coming out. And we're going to come right back into our center table, neutralizing the spine. So our shoulders are back over top of our wrists and our hips are over our knees. Now we're going to get into that anatomy that I love so much. Because we're going to play a little bit with lifting legs and planks. So on an inhale, I want you to just send that right foot back. The toes can stay touching down for now. But as we reach that right foot back with the toes down, I want us to notice if our belly has dropped. If our belly has dropped, then we want to turn that core on. Feel like you're trying to hug the belly button in towards the back. Feeling those shoulders load up. Can we lift that right leg up? So it gets to float off the ground. Keep pressing through the hands. Feel the top of that leg really turn on. Flex the toes in towards the shin. There you go. And we're going to keep both hands on the floor. We're going to try and pull the thigh in towards our chest. So think of that cat spine. Really round the back to bring the knee, maybe touching the nose. And then send it back out. Extend that right foot right on back. Pull that belly in. Don't let it drop. And then use an exhale to lower that right knee back down. Give the spine and hip a little wiggle. Shake a tail feather. So we can do that other side. Maybe even bend the elbows a couple times. When you're ready, let's push that left foot back. Keep the toes down to start. Noticing if the belly has drooped or even if the chest has fallen into the shoulder. Starting to pull the belly button in towards the back. Feeling the whole activation in the front of the chest, flexing through the left toes. Can you lift that heel up? Push into the palms. Good. Lengthen out the neck. And let's find that squeeze. Think the cat spine, thigh in towards the chest, nose maybe gets to touch the knee. And then exhale, send it back out. Heel reaches behind you, flex those left toes. And then use an exhale to lower that left knee down. Give the spine its wiggle. So we can tuck the toes and just push the hips back towards the heels. So similar to your child's pose, just getting into the bottoms of the feet. You can kind of rock the hips side to side too. So you can target each toe and even the inner arch of the foot. Because as we move towards half moon, you're going to realize how important all of those toes really are for you. They're what keep you grounded. And using our next inhale, we'll look forward, take the shoulders back over the wrists, flexing and pointing the toes behind you, rolling out the ankles. We're going to put the toes right back down to the floor. Keep that belly engaged, so turn that core back on if you let it go. Pushing through the hands, hover the knees, just about an inch from the mat. So a lot of core work there, really focused on the belly button area. Now I like to do the obliques right now. So as we push through the hands, you want to keep the shoulders stable as you take the knees and just move them over towards the right side. Feeling the wringing out of the sides of the waist, those are the obliques. The gaze is just a few inches in front of you. And whenever you're ready, you take those knees back down through center. Maybe you really like that squeeze and over towards the left side. Keeping the shoulders nice and steady. Trying to stay high on the toes. If you want to, you can come right back to the center, keeping that hover of the knee. Using an exhale to push the hips back towards the heels. Inhaling in that feeling, big breath in. And then exhale for downward facing dog, straightening out those legs. Saying hello to the hamstrings. Walking it out, bending opposite knees. Just feeling out all that space, leaning into all the sides. Feeling how it feels to push the belly to each side. And then when you feel ready for it, maybe playing with the straight legs. How close can the heels get towards the mat? If they can't get that close, then maybe we keep a bend in the knees, encouraging a longer spine, keeping that belly drawn in, pushing away from the fingertips. As we move into our first open hip, inhale, the right leg reaches up towards the side. Then you need to open up that hip. So the right heel pulls towards the left glute. We have an equal press down through both hands. And we can roll that right ankle there, waving hello on this side. Maybe you can see the roll of the foot, but we can surely feel it, so that's fine. Good. So back with that core. We'll take the thigh in towards the chest, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. As the shoulders come over the wrists, we're going to step right by that right thumb. And just explore the hip right here. So we're in a lunge with our fingertips down. If you have blocks or even a water bottle would help, you can bring the ground closer to you by lifting the hands. You're just kind of rocking out that hip. Taking a moment to explore it, get it ready. And then whenever you're ready, we'll take the hands over towards that left side. For our first straddle fold, the toes are going to turn to face the left edge of the mat. And you've got a yogi's choice in your fold. Anything you want to do here. If you just want to hang out, let gravity pull the upper body down, you can totally do that. If you have any tension in the hamstrings or even in the low back, a nice soft bend in the knees can just help encourage more space and a little bit more depth into that fold. And your arms can kind of do whatever you want them to do. They can just drape there. You can ragdoll, grabbing opposite elbows. You can move a little bit. And even a side-to-side rock of the upper body. Just feeling that first straddle fold before we add anything into it. And then on your next exhale, let those hands come down towards the floor if they're not there already. So your inhale can find that big halfway lift. Straightening out the spine, you want the crown of the head to reach away from the tailbone. Pulling that belly in. Take the hands and walk them towards knee. The back leg gets to bend. We're getting to strengthen up the whole left side as the right side gets a huge stretch along that inner leg. There we go. Now looking forward, you're going to use the press through that left foot to find your way back up into that low lunge, turning the toes forward. So that right foot's forward, the right knee is bent. And we're going to start to keep walking the hands over that right side. So the hands are going to kind of cross over the right leg. So our upper body's kind of twisting over top of the right thigh. You can kind of lean into that left hip a bit more if it feels good, pushing that left heel back. It kind of brings in a nice calf stretch too. And then we'll unravel that, bring the left hand back over to the left side, framing that right foot. You're going to drop the left knee, bringing both hands inside the right foot so that we're in a little lizard lunge here. Nice and early for it, but I think we can do it. You have options. So if this is enough for you, if that back knee is down, you can untuck the back toes, either staying up on the hands or lowering down towards forearms. And if you have the blocks, those can come underneath of you. Just settling right into the hip, getting it open. And I'm a big wiggler, so a little side-to-side rock is not a bad thing. Helps you find a little bit more space if you want it. And there's an option to go even further. So if you don't want to do it, you stay. Otherwise, you'd come back up on that left hand, taking the right toes and turning them out to about 2 o'clock. Spiraling out to the outer edge of that right foot so that the knee gets to open. And your right hand can come right on top of the knee or the thigh and kind of push into it, leaning into that left side. Maybe the gaze works back. And then from wherever we are, we're going to take, let's do 2 more big breaths to bring it all in. Use that exhale to find a little more. And then after this last breath, we're going to come back up towards that low lunge. So reconnecting the right foot up on the hands to frame the foot that's up there. You'll tuck the left toes and engage that leg so the knee gets to lift off the floor. And we're back into one of my favorite core challenges where we bring the palms down to the mat and we start to really press in. We're pressing so much that the belly starts to pull away from the thigh. And we're going to keep that right knee squeezing right there as we take the heel and pull it towards the glute. Try not to change anything else. Keep breathing. Big inhale. And then exhale, push that right foot back for your high plank. Taking a moment just to feel this high plank. You can even shift forward and back. Foundation in line here. Noticing again if the belly has dropped down and bring it back in. Take one more big inhale in. And then exhale, we're going to do our first chaturanga. So you can drop the knees or keep them lifted. It's a half lower. Inhale, upward facing dog, pull the heart up. And then exhale all the way back to downward facing dog. Walking out that dog just for a moment, readjusting to those straight legs. Saying hello again to the hamstrings. And then your next inhale is going to lift that left leg up to the sky this time. Bending the knee to open up the hip. Pulling the heel now towards the right glute. Just exploring that space. Roll the ankle, wave hello. Maybe even get to see the roll of that ankle. So we can get that squeeze again. Take the thigh in towards the chest. Engage the belly. Look forward. Shoulders over the wrists. So we can step left foot. And just explore the hip here. Using the hands as kickstands. Getting to wiggle it out. And then whenever you're ready, take the hands over to the right side, straddle fold round 2. So here's where we get to add a little. So if we think of poses like half moon, we not only need the mobility and the flexibility of the hip, which this wide-legged fold gets to help with, but we also need a good amount of shoulder, because the shoulders get to stack and open. So we're gonna bring that left hand right below the face, finding a big flat back. It's that half lift shape with the upper body. And your next inhale is gonna take the right hand and reach it up towards the sky. Big opening through the chest. And if you'd like, you can even reach that right hand around, bending at the elbow for a half bind where the fingers get to reach for either the left glute or the left thigh. Your next inhale is going to lift that right arm back up if it's not already there. And exhale, takes that right hand down to meet the left. So we can go the other way. Inhale, the left arm twists up, reaches up. Drawing that belly in, pressing through the right hand to reach higher with the left. Option for that half bind, bending at the elbow, reaching for the hip. Keep the breath going. And coming out of that, use the inhale to lift that left arm. And the exhale to bring the left hand back down. Finish out your fold however you want to do it. Pull the upper body down. So your next inhale is going to be that big halfway lift, straightening out the foot now. So the foot's at the front, bending that right knee. Big stretch on the inside of that left leg now. And then whenever you're ready, you're going to look forward, using that right foot to push your way back up into our low lunge. Toes are facing forward. And you're going to keep that movement going. So hands are going to walk over to that left side so that the upper body gets to kind of turn over top of the left thigh. Pushing into that right heel, getting a nice half stretch into it. And then we'll unravel that, bring the right hand back over. Bring the left hand back over inside of that left foot so we can drop the right knee, release the toes. You're in that lizard. So wherever you want to go here, if you stay up on the hands, you stay up. Option to go down towards your forearms. And the wiggles are good, the wiggles are okay. And kind of move side to side very little, just to help find some more space. And then that third option was up on the right hand, turning the left toes out to about 10 o'clock and spiraling onto that outer edge. Pushing that left knee or thigh away from you, leaning into it. And finding our way back nice and slow. Up on the hands so that we can frame that left foot. Tuck the back toes, engaging the back leg, so lifting that back knee. The palms are below the shoulders, pressing into the floor. Find that core again. It's still there. It didn't go anywhere. Pull the belly away from the thigh. Keep the left knee exactly where it is and squeeze just the heel towards the glute. Everything else stays steady. Big inhale in. And then exhale, push that left foot back, high plank. Take just one inhale in. And exhale for your chaturanga, lower just halfway, elbows back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Back towards downward facing dog, over the toes. Nice big inhale in. And the big exhale out. For two more, filling up the lungs. Exhale, empty. So the inhale, think lengthen the spine. And then bring it back down through the legs. Good, now looking forward, you're gonna bend your knees and find your way up towards the top of the mat. So if it's a walk, a big step, or even a hop. And once you're up there, the inhale is gonna be the halfway lift. The exhale is gonna fold you down. And then inhale to rise and reach. Press through the feet to sweep the hands up. Exhale to fold down, softening the knees as you go. Inhale is a halfway lift for your high to low plank. So hands below the shoulders. The inhale is that high plank. The exhale is the lower for upward facing dog. Back to downward facing dog. Exhale. Taking 2 breaths in. And the breath out. On those knees and find your way to the top for one more of the sun A's. The inhale is that half lift. The exhale is the fold. Rising to stand. Reach as tall as you can. Wrap those ribs. And exhale to fold. Soften the knees as you go. Hinge from the hip. Inhale, half. For your high to low plank. So everything gets to turn on as you lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog, shoulders back. To downward facing dog, push the hips back. Big inhale in. Bigger exhale out. Is that Ujjayi breath, bring it all. And send it out. Looking forward, bend your knees. Find your way to the top. Inhale's the half. Exhale to fold. For a chair pose now, so bending those knees, sitting the hips down as the arms get to lift. And taking that moment just to play in your chair. I love chair too. Chair's a great one. Feeling rooted through the entire foot. So you've got the 4 corners, 2 in the back, 2 in the front. Pushing down into the mat and pulling in through the ribs. So as you push down, we need to lift up. We need to lengthen up. Take one more big inhale. And exhale, fold, let that go. Halfway lift, lengthen. For your high to low plank. Control that movement. Can you turn it on more? Inhale, half upward facing dog. To downward facing dog, exhale. Picking up the right leg, inhale. Big strong step, pull that thigh in to step forward for a warrior 1. Back heel comes down. So the hips are kind of facing towards the front of the mat. And we're pressing through the feet. Again, taking a moment just to explore it. You're never gonna have the perfect warrior that first time. And make it that rainbow warrior, right? That was one of our favorites. Smile really big because you love it. Push into the feet, reach higher through the fingers, reach higher through the corner mouth. Exhale, hands down to the floor, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Back towards downward facing dog. Left leg up to the sky. Big strong step, pull it in towards the warrior 1 on this side. So the back heel of the right heel comes down as the arms reach up. Take that moment, different hip, different pose, but the same. Ooh, there's a wasp up here. The same happy warrior. Reaching through the fingertips as you press through your feet. Good, take one more inhale. And then exhale, hands down, high to low plank. Up dog. To downward facing dog. So getting in towards the fun part, big inhale. Woo, big exhale, words. Take one more inhale. And that exhale. Looking forward, bend your knees. Find your way up. Inhale's the half. Exhale's the fold. For your chair pose, sitting down nice and deep, reach those arms up. Settling into that seat and stay. Because you love chair pose, you're in no hurry to go anywhere. You're gonna keep that right foot firmly pressing down and start to hug the left knee up towards the chest.
So feeling kind of like you're like a ninja, like a Tai Chi. And we're gonna push that left foot back, reaching through the left foot towards the back of the mat, towards our crescent lunge. So the toes get to touch down. And once they touch down, then you reach those hands up. Wrapping the ribs in, reaching through the fingertips. Turn the corners of the mouth back up, because this is also a rainbow warrior. Take a big inhale in. And then exhale, we're going to open up the arms towards the right side. The right arm pulls back, the left arm reaches forward. Keep that breath going. Start to draw the belly in a little bit more so we can work out a little more of that twist. For my favorite ninja warriors, your inhale is going to bring that right hand to touch the left at the top. And then the exhale is going to pull it back, warrior two. So getting to go from that closed hip to a big open hip. You take a moment just to wiggle out the shoulders, all that fascia back there. Squeeze them, round them, anything you want to do. Pressing through both feet, lengthening the spine. On your next inhale, we're going to flip the right hand, take a big reverse, reach it back. Exhale, the hands down to the floor, high to low plank. Elbows pointing back, gaze is a bit forward. Inhale, upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Take one big breath in. And that big breath out. We gotta get back to the top, so bend the knees, find your way up. Inhale's the half. Exhale to fold. For your chair polos, bend the knees. Tell yourself you love chair. You love it, you love it, you love it. Keep that left foot firmly planted. Start to bring the right thigh up to the chest, even flex the toes. Pushing that right foot back. We know where we're going now, towards that crescent lunge, where once the toes touch down, both hands reach up, the wrap in. That belly towards the spine. It's kind of like you're trying to hug it all in, or trying to protect yourself from a big old gut punch. Take a big inhale in. Open arms to the left side. That left arm pulls back, right arm reaches forward. Getting to really wring out the spine while maintaining the integrity of the legs, that big strong base. Ninja warriors, here we go. Inhale, left hand touches the right. Exhale, pull it back, warrior two. Take that moment to explore it. Work out the shoulders, however you want to work them out. Flex your biceps, do some firepower. Good. Next inhale is going to flip that left hand, big reverse sweep back. Then exhale, hands down to the floor, high to low plank. Upward facing dog. Back to your downward facing dog. So now we really get to the fun stuff. We're adding on, take a big inhale in and a bigger exhale out. Looking forward, we're going to bend the knees and find our way up to the top. Inhale's the halfway lift. Exhale to fold. For your chair pose, bend the knees, reach the hands. Keep that right foot firmly planted. The inhale pulls the left thigh to the chest. The exhale gets to push that left foot back. Inhale the crescent lunge. Exhale, open arms to the right. Inhale, hands touch at the top. Ninja warrior, warrior two. This time we're going to straighten back to that warrior two, bend the knee. Another time, inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior two. Now listen, inhale, reach those hands up. Start to bend the left knee, right leg stays straight. Those right toes turn up as you go in towards the side runners. So our left knee gets a big bend and this right leg gets a big stretch. Flexing the right toes, or maybe even pointing the toes, maybe even moving between the two. Your hands can come to the floor or they can stay at the heart. Anything you want them to do. So we're going to do this part slow, so the next time we get here, we can do it with the breath, with a little more gusto. So take that right hand, it's going to come right by this left foot. You're going to push into the mat, turning the toes to the back side. So you can't see me, but you can hear me. So you've got that low lunge, left foot is now your forward, right hand is down. Inhale, pull that left arm up towards the sky. If you have a half bind, the left hand can continue reaching, bending at the elbow so that it reaches towards that right outer hip. Maybe you even use the connection of that hand to say, hey, hip, stay on, so it doesn't droop down. Good. Option to keep that half bind for the challenge or lift that left arm back up, but we're gonna try and get towards side plank. So it's gonna be pretty goofy. That left foot's gonna start to step its way back. As we rotate towards the right side edge of that right foot until the foot can eventually get all the way back, right side plank. If that left foot stays in the middle, that's okay, that's your kickstand. We wanna lift those hips up. Trust the shoulders, they've got you. Press into that right hand, keep breathing. There you go. Inhale, reach that left arm forward. Then exhale, that left hand comes down to the floor. So we're in a high plank here. We're not going down quite yet. We got another core challenge here. That left leg is gonna lift up. Try to keep that belly drawn in. So we're in a 3-limbed plank right now. And we're gonna try and pull that left knee in towards the left elbow. So can you squeeze it up? Squeeze it up as high as you can. Maybe getting to step by that left hand. Because guess where we just landed? Crescent lunge. Lift the right arms up. Lift both arms, not right arms. There you go. Big inhale in. Big exhale out. And now we're going to start to reach the fingertips forward. So draw the belly in. Those ribs pull in. You got a nice straight line from the heel to the fingers. We're going to use that press into the left foot. Pose facing the back of the mat. Settle into it. So we can go back the way we came. That left thigh is ready, isn't it? Keep the left foot firmly planted. Bring the right thigh up to the chest on the inhale. Exhale, pushes that right foot back. Inhale, land that crescent. Exhale, open arms to the left side. Ninjas, inhale, left hand touches the right. Pull it back, warrior 2. Inhale to reach up, straighten the legs. Exhale, warrior 2. Another time, inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior 2. One more time, here we go. Reach up. Start to bend that right knee. Keep the left leg straight. You're your side runners on this side. Hands can go wherever they need to go to help you keep your balance. You can flex the left toes. You can point the left toes. I am really struggling with words today. It's fine. Try a big spine. And here we go. Left hand comes down to the floor by that right foot. Use the press to come up into that low lunge with the legs. Inhaling to lift that right arm up towards the sky. Big twist in your lunge, taking that right hand. Maybe it goes for the bind, bending up to reach for the left hip. Big breaths. Because now you know where you're going. It's that fun part. Challenge is to keep that bind there, or maybe the right arm needs to come up to help you with the transition. Start to rotate to the left edge of that foot. So the right foot can start to work its way back. If it stays in the middle, that's your kickstand. If it can go all the way back, good for you. Reaching the hips up, press into that left hand. You're in your side plank. Keep breathing. Wiggling's okay. It means you're getting stronger. Start to reach that right arm forward. Lots of space there. And so the hand comes down to the floor, so you're back in that high plank. Take the moment, don't rush out of it. We're gonna lift the right leg, so keep that belly drawn in, don't let it drop. Start to bend the knee, squeeze it in towards the right elbow as you can until it steps forward, and we can lift our crescent lunge, big inhale. Settling in, big exhale. Take another inhale. Reaching the fingertips forward, find that big line in the backside body. Shoulder blades are on top, ribs are in. Using that reach, using the press of the right foot, we're going up to that chair pose. Settle. That flow. Your up dog's gonna feel really good when you get there. Use that inhale. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Walk it out, you got 2 breaths. And out. For one more, fill it up. Exhale, let it go. So we're gonna move with the breath a little quicker. Looking forward, bend the knees. Find your way to the top. Inhale's the half. Exhale to fold. Chair pose, bend the knees, arms up. Keep that right foot down. Inhale, left thigh to the chest. Exhale, pushes it back. Crescent lunge breath. Open arms to the right side. Exhale. Ninja warriors, hands touch at the top. Warrior 2. 3 pulses. Inhale, reach up, straighten. Exhale, warrior 2. 2 more, inhale. Exhale, 2. 1 more, reach up. Shift the weight, bend that back knee, straighten the right leg. Side runners. Right hand comes by that left foot. Use an inhale to pull the left arm up. You're in your lunge twist. If you want that bind again, go for it. Working your way towards the side plank. Take your time. This is the part where we get to linger. Because side plank is another favorite. Lift those hips. Got it. All right, left arm reaches forward. Down to your high plank. Take that inhale. Lift the left leg. Bend the knee, squeeze the thigh towards the left elbow. Stepping by that left hand, pause. Take the right heel, plant it down. We're going towards side angle. So you're gonna pull that right arm up towards the sky. You have the option to come up, elbow to knee. So we've got the warrior legs, the right arm reaching high. And now is where we get to go into that half moon. So if this is enough on your hip, you can totally stay. Side angle is awesome to play. You can find half binds, you can wiggle and move. But as we go towards a half moon, we're gonna go, so you're gonna take the gaze down towards that left foot. And if the left hand can come towards the floor, we're gonna bring the fingertips down. It's gonna go slow. So for each step that right foot takes up towards the left, the hand moves forward also. To the point where that right leg starts to come up. And as it comes up, you've got to really turn that leg on. If it's a limp limb, you're going to be really heavy in the leg, and it's going to cause the hip to cramp. But if we turn that right leg on and lift it a little bit higher, that's where we get that half moon. So right arm stays up. We've got to flex the right toes. From that half moon, we go back. Reaching the right foot until you land, side angle. Reaching the right arm forward, big reach, all the way down to the floor. Take a big inhale. Exhale to push that left foot back. You're in your high plank in. Exhale to lower. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. We did half moon. Take one more in. Exhale, let it go. Looking towards now the front of your mat. Bend the knees, find your way up. Inhale's the halfway lift. Exhale to fold. For your chair pose, sit down in the hips, lift the hands. Settling in. All right, keep that left foot down. Inhale the right thigh to the chest. Exhale, pushes it back towards that crescent lunge. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, open arms. Ninja warriors, left hand touches the right. Inhale for warrior two on the exhale. Those 3 pulses, reach up, breath. Exhale, settle. 2 more, in. And exhale. 1 more, full breath. Bend that right knee, keep the left leg straight, side runners. Left hand to the floor by the right foot. Inhale, the right arm pulls up, big lunge twist. From here, take your time. This is that fun part. Towards your side plank. Right foot starts to work its way back. Maybe it stays in one spot. Maybe it makes it all the way. Lift those hips, press into the left hand. Good, right arm reaches forward, big length. All the way down to the mat, you're in your high plank. Take that moment. Lift the right leg off the mat. You got it. Pull that right knee in towards the right elbow so you can step somewhere by that right hand. Left heel comes down, side angle. Left arm up. Right elbow can come on top of the thigh if it wants. But you want to keep pulling up through the chest. Twist it open. Good. Going toward, you can stay in side angle. You can do a half bind. You can play in the depth of that leg, or you can go towards that balance where the right hand comes down, looking towards the floor, and make it equal. As the left foot steps up, the right hand reaches forward to a point where that left leg comes up. Remember, you gotta turn that leg on. Try to reach it above the parallel line to the ground. Because if it's below, it's gonna be really heavy and hard. But if we lift and pull, keep breathing too. That's good stuff. Alrighty, start to bend that right knee back the way we came. Reaching, whoop, that left foot back, side angle. Stick it and land it. Reaching the left arm forward and all the way down. Hands are on the floor. Take that inhale. Exhale, the right foot pushes back. Inhale at your high plank for your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. All the way back to downward facing dog. Walk that dog out. Half moon is good stuff. And it's a lot of work in that hip. So we're gonna spend some good time cooling down that hip. So on your next inhale, let's lift that right leg up towards the sky. Bend the knee to open up the hip. You have an option to stay right here, or the option to flip your dog. So if you decide to stay, maybe you draw big circles with the knee. If you want to flip your dog, you're going to take your time so that right foot can touch down to the floor. All 10 toes rotate to the back. So you press down and lift the hips. Kind of like that wheel pose. Just with 3 limbs. Let your eyes close wherever you are. Press into the floor. So we can go back the way we came with our right leg to the sky. So it's that 3-legged dog. Flex the right foot, push the wall behind you away. So we can pull the right knee in towards the right wrist, settling in towards half pigeon. From half moon to half pigeon. All the halves. We'll do a full pigeon too, because it's good stuff. So for your half pigeon, you've got options to modify. If you've got a block or even a water bottle, you can lay on its side. You can bring it right underneath of that right hip, the right bum. And if you want to stay up with the upper body, you can, or you can start to work it down, lowering towards forearms. Settling right in.
letting the breath cool. Maybe just the idea of half moon kind of freaks your hips out. But now you get to be right here. I'm gonna take 3 more big breaths. The biggest breaths you've had all day. Taking one. Using that exhale to remove the block or bottle or whatever if you've got it under your hip. So now we can shift the weight to that right hip and bring the left leg forward. Going from our half to our full. So the full pigeon is where that left ankle comes on top of the right knee. If that's not going to work, hold on, I'll give you another option. And you can start to press very lightly, that left knee towards the left ankle. Now, if any of that is too much for the hip, you can always tuck that right heel in towards the glute, make it more of an easy crisscross seat, or even try to keep that top leg at that shin parallel to the top of the mat. But if you have the option of that full pose where the knee and ankle is stacked, you can start to use the weight of the upper body, but only to the point where you still feel okay. It's very intense on it. And I would only start to really fold forward if you can comfortably take that left knee on top of the ankle. You got it, big breaths. Just a couple more. Maybe noticing how dirty your feet are. Good. For us to come out of this, we're going to very carefully lift the upper body. If it went down, bring the left knee towards the chest, slow, take the left foot down. So we can have both feet firmly planted, knees are still bent. And you're gonna reach the hands back behind you. We're gonna reverse our tabletop. So the fingertips are pointing towards the feet. The feet are about hips width apart. And you're gonna press into the floor to lift the hips. Reverse table. The head can either stay looking forward towards the knees, or it can drop back if that feels okay on the neck. You wanna feel the hips pushing up. Engage the glutes a bit. And then lower that bottom back down. And we're gonna find our way back towards down dog. So you're gonna reach between the knees so the hands come down to your downward facing dog, feet back. Walk that out. Ready for the left side. Big inhale, the left leg up towards the sky. Bending the knee to open up the hip. Either stay and play, drawing big circles with that knee, or flipping your dog over. Take your time to flip it. Touch the left foot down, turn all 10 toes to the back. Then you can press down and lift the hips. Letting the head and the hand drop back. Letting your eyes close. Breathe. Awesome. Back the way we came. Take your time. You're going to send that left leg right on back up to the sky. Push the wall behind you away if there's a wall behind you. You're going to bring left knee in. Left bum. Settling in towards that pigeon. So if you don't feel like you're getting enough of it, then you can work that left shin be more parallel the top of the mat. And you have the option to surrender through the chest, down towards the floor. Try to relax all the toes. Relax the breath. Just started raining. It's pouring. We're gonna take 3 more breaths here. But as that third breath is finishing, you can gently remove whatever prop, if you had it, from under the left hip, so that we can shift and bring that right leg forward. Find our variation of that full pigeon, where the left leg is now on the bottom, the right ankle on top of the left knee, and either that left heel pulls in towards the glute to make it a little bit easier, or if we can't, very nicely take that right knee towards the left ankle. You notice the difference. I can't get my knee to my ankle on this side, and that's okay. That's fine. Only adding the weight of your upper body if it feels good. Couple more moments. And very carefully, we'll start to bring that right knee up towards the chest to kind of unstack, untwist our legs, bringing both feet firmly on the floor. Make sure our bum in the middle of the mat, so we towards the sky, waterfall pose. Total freedom in what the legs want to do up here. Any kind of movement. Bending the knees, drawing shapes, or writing your name on the ceiling. So we can do some belly twists. We're going to fold the right knee in towards the chest, extending the left leg out. And you're going to hug that knee in as much as you can. And before we go into that twist, we're going to open it up to the right side. So once we get that open, then we can close it off across the body, twisting over to the left. Letting the right arm extend out and trying to keep the shoulders down. Backing off on the twist with the shoulders lifted. And when that feels good, you'll come right back in towards the middle. Readjusting the spine on the mat so we can switch sides. The left knee hugs in, the right leg extends. Give the knee that squeeze so you can open the hip and then close the hip off. And into that belly twist. And then when that side feels good, you'll come back in towards the middle. Extending your legs and your arms right on out. So you can find your final savasana, your savasana. Relaxing all the different joints and limbs of the body. Feeling entirely supported by the ground beneath you. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight, for sharing your practice online. May you always be happy. May you always be well. And may you feel free to stay in Savasana for as long as you'd like. Namaste.